my left, we have Leah Edmond. On my right, we have our setter, Marley Monserrat. I'll just start with an opening statement. I think this has been brewing for a long time. We've always felt like getting better and better every single week. And it was just a matter of time before we started putting things together. Now, we didn't play a perfect match by any means. We knew that by the number of errors in the first couple sets. But what we did do is something that we haven't done, which was come back and believe that we can still play as well as we can play. And I thought we were patient. I thought we were confident. The biggest thing was we just kind of stuck up for each other and held each other up even if somebody was struggling. I thought it was a fantastic team effort in terms of mental and emotional togetherness. That's something huge for us as we go forward and continue to try and ascend to our goals. Yeah, we did do some things different strategically. I thought you'll see that we used the back row a little bit more. We've been getting our middles involved, and so we got them involved. And it actually de-emphasized our outside hitting, and it didn't make it so important. The outsides had to be perfect, and I think that's where we're really maturing as a team. Is that between middle, right side, and back row, we can make that centric to our offense. The outsides don't have to carry as much of a load. They can carry the occasional load, the out-of-system load, and I think they did a great job of that. But I just feel like we're becoming a more mature team with more weapons and more opportunities.
How do you approach that when you want to de-emphasize the outside hitters a little bit?
I think it's really attributed to the defense and the passing. I mean, we were able to run a great offense tonight, getting everyone involved because people were digging balls high in the middle of the court or passing right on the net. So I think that's hugely attributed to the rest of the backcourt.
Yeah, you're 2-0 now in Omaha. You got schedule more matches for here? What about Omaha brings out the best in this team?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of like the volleyball capitals of America. So I think just being somewhere so amazing, I think the crowd definitely, even though they're not cheering for us, just seeing that many people having that type of energy, I think just adds on to the game. I don't know, maybe away games, like you're a little bit more focused. There's like always like in college, there's less responsibility, there's less distractions than if you're at home. And so just being able to be in a hotel, be around us and we're only playing volleyball, I think that also helps. But I mean, we always know when we come here, it's going to be a battle. And I think that adds on to it of like, we're constantly probably fighting for first every time we play them. And so adding that kind of stress kind of can also add a good type of pressure to our team. And I think we respond well. I think we've done really well in away trips, period, no matter where we were at.
How have you seen, I kind of talked about this, how have you seen the team evolve and kind of develop over the last month and a half or so?
It's been really cool because we've had ups and downs, like getting swept on our home court kind of like was like, oh, wait a second, this hasn't happened before. Even when we lost the second time in our court, it was in 4. So I think it kind of put an emphasis on like, wait, we can't let that happen again. And also what do we need to focus on? And I think allowing all of us to be ourselves, I think has been a big emphasis in the gym, just trusting like, hey, Marley is a setter. Marley's a really good setter. And Marley sets a different way than any other person does, and allowing her to be that, and them allowing me to be Leah and how Leah plays, and allowing each one of us to be who we are. And the coaches have put such a big emphasis on playing our game and being ourselves, not trying to do too much, not trying to do somebody else's job. Be yourself and be that to your full extent and unapologetically.
Well, how's it feel? I mean, you're playing the other team you're tied with for first place to come off the win tonight. What kind of statement do you feel that makes?
I think it makes a big statement. I think this team plays together and plays with a ton of heart. And I think that's different than any other team in this league. I think we go into a match, whatever the outcome, we care about each other. We want to play for each other, and we want to play with that intensity and get the crowd involved. And I think it makes a huge statement for us as a team.
Coach, I apologize if you answered this already, but let's talk about winning for a second time here in Omaha, first this season opener.
It's always nice to get a win here because, like Leah said, this is one of those volleyball meccas. Nebraska's just that way. And I think any volleyball player would want to play a match somewhere in Nebraska. And, winning is that much better. it sounds like coach speak when I say it's just one of 24, and ultimately that's what it is. We're playing for seeding in a tournament at the end of the year. But what I'm more focused on as a coach is how are we growing? How are we expanding? How are we becoming more disciplined? And, that opening match was a lot of excitement because that was history. This one is more exciting because we're growing and we're starting to see fruits of all that effort in the gym and all the hours we're spending together and getting glimpses of what kind of team that we really could be when we really do start putting everything together.
Trade earlier this week, how does that change the team?
Sorry, what was that?
You had a trade earlier this week, you traded with Tori. How does that change the team going
Yeah, Tori is an important part of this franchise. Tori was one of the first people that signed on, and Tori was instrumental in helping put us together. So Tori will always have an important impact on our franchise and wherever we go. And we wish somebody like that nothing but the best where she is. But in terms of how we prepped, didn't change a thing. How we traveled, it didn't change a thing. How we played didn't change a thing. So I don't know that it had any impact one way or the other than, obviously we wish her the very best in Columbus and, hope she gets a great opportunity to do special things. Anything else?
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Sorry, just stepping in, so maybe this has already been asked. Is this a rivalry?
I think everything is a rivalry, to be honest with you, because you see it. We went out and we beat somebody 3-0 who beat a team that we haven't beaten yet in 2 chances. So I don't care if it's 1 through 7 or 7 through 1. There really is not that much of a difference. It's not like a 32-team league. I mean, everybody here is competitive and everybody can win. Is this a rivalry? I think it's a rivalry with everybody. And I'm not giving you a crappy answer or anything like that. I'm just being real. Every match is going to be a rivalry with everybody when you play them 4 times.
Yeah, but I think there's something a little bit special about Omaha. I think it's fun because I've played with the majority of that team over the past couple of years. So there's like a little bit of an edge of like, I've already played you before and I can beat you again type of thing. But he is correct. There's every team, there's something different. Us against Grand Rapids is super fiery, like no matter what. And so I think each team has a special relationship with, depending on the team, because I know Grand Rapids probably hates San Diego right now because they've beaten them every single time. And so I think it definitely depends on the team, but I feel like there's a little bit more of an edge when we play them. And I think it's also because preseason, it's in the back of my mind that they have us finishing behind them. And so kind of like a little edge to it a little bit. But I think because we're always tying for first and playing for first, it kind of adds a little bit more pressure to the game because you're like, you want to be first, of course. So I definitely agree, though. Every team is a different experience and a different feeling playing. But I definitely, for me personally, have a little bit more of an edge when I play Omaha.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you all very much.
team captain Brooke Miller and opposite Mia Reed. Everyone's ready and is open for questions.
It's a tough one. The first one's always a tough one.
Coach, what did Atlanta do better tonight that maybe they didn't do 2 weeks ago?
Offense. I mean, offensively, they were on fire. Obviously, they're a great team. We knew it was going to be a battle. And so the response needs to be a little stronger, a little more assertive. That's what we were kind of just talking about in the locker room. But there's a level of focus that needs to happen consistently, whether you're on the road or at home. But Atlanta's a great team, and all of these matches are going to be tough battles, and we need to show up and we need to respond a little better.
Amanda was saying to me, sometimes it's easier to focus when you're on the road. And would you agree with that statement?
Yeah. I mean, I've said it. This team we love being on the road. They're road warriors, and there is a different element. You're around each other 24/7. You're on the bus together. So I think it's like almost like a forced bonding. But you're also like on someone else's home turf. So like there's a deeper fight mentality because you're like in enemy territory or whatever you want to call it. But also you can't, I mean, we just kind of talked about you're comfortable at home. So like you're in your home space, we have a great crowd, but you still have to bring whatever that intangible team dynamic is, even if you're in that environment. And so that's something that we're being checked on right now. And we have to figure out how to feel that sooner and respond.
Brooke, can you tell a difference from that intensity level, home versus road?
I mean, I wish I could pinpoint, something, because I feel like then that would make it really easy, for our next home match. I don't know. I feel like we started off fine. The first 2 sets or even the first 3, you wouldn't have felt nervous, by the way we were playing, maybe a little bit of miscommunication. But besides that, it's really that 4th set. And I felt like we never were fighting consistently the whole time. And that is something that this group is known for. We are fighters, we are grinders. It doesn't matter what the execution is. Like, we will fight for every single point hard. And I didn't feel that tonight. And so that's something that we can control 100%. And I will say confidently that it won't happen again. But I mean, like Bird was saying, Atlanta scored unbelievable. Our defense has to be a little better and just sharper, and we need to take more responsibility as a team.
Coach, just talk about that 4th set and how Atlanta just really got off to that great start, and Omaha just never was able to close the gap.
Yeah, volleyball is a game of momentum, and we talk about that, the timeouts. We talk about that at practice, 3-point swings. And when you give people confidence and momentum, they run with it, and they kind of felt that. I think Nia had a great match tonight. We kept trying to get her the ball, front row, back row. She was scoring. And so we were trying to combat their offense with at least offense. And like Brooke just said, defensively, we have to get some stops. We have to shut certain things down just to slow down their offensive momentum and get something going for ourselves. So that's what that battle in the 4th was, trying to figure that out.
When coach calls your name that first set, you come in, what's your mental approach? How do you kind of get yourself in the flow of the game at that point?
As a game changer, my main focus is to, try to have be a spark on the court. So also just being calm. So when I come in, I'm trying to give the team that spark, also the calmness and just the control and stuff like that. So I'm always ready. Like I tell Bird, I'm always ready off the bench, just waiting for my name to be called. But I think everybody's always ready. Like you saw tonight, it takes the whole team. And everybody got opportunity today. We just could execute.
Brooke, after what happened tonight, are you happy that you've got another match just in a couple of days?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we need redemption. We will need redemption when we play Atlanta again. I'm happy that wasn't our 4th match against them. Immediately after the match, Christina, she comes up in the huddle and she says, better now than in the championship. It's like sometimes, obviously we never want to lose ever, but sometimes as a team, you start to win, not a little too much, but you get a little comfortable. We got our butt beat in that 4th set. Hopefully that kicks a fire under us, and yeah, I think we're very happy that we get to play in 2 days to just show that was not our performance.
You got a rivalry going on with Atlanta, you
A rivalry?
Is there a rivalry going on with Atlanta?
I don't know. I like the girls in Atlanta. I want to beat them, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can say this week we were competing for that number 1 spot. So there's always, that rivalry,
Mhm.
Especially with the 2 top teams. So it's always going to be a battle. But, we definitely wanted to win tonight to get that number 1 spot. So I'm glad we get another opportunity to play them.
And there's a lot of matches between now and then.
Exactly.
For sure.
Questions?
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.